All right, Greg, I think we are officially live. So what we're going to do here today is we are going to we're going to explore some markets, and I wanted to get Greg on because I wanted to really just do it. I guess a different product research than we're used to is where we're kind of going out there and we're finding just miscellaneous products. Like, where do I start? I want to imagine that we've already picked two or three different markets, and then I want you and me to kind of go through and explore what we could find in these markets if these were the markets that we're going to go into, or again, something similar for people to kind of get that idea of how to expand the product line that they have versus just thinking about the next, one product that I could sell into a different market and then another market and another market, which is fine. But I think that people would get value from doing this. So what do you say, Greg? Does this sound fun or what?
I love it. This sounds like a blast. I'm happy to do it. It's always great talking to you, and I'm sure the audience is going to learn a lot watching this.
Yeah, cool. So you know what? I'm not gonna build this up anymore. Let's just
Do it.
dig in. Why don't you talk about this though first? What's your thoughts on, like, so if I have, and I think we're gonna use we're going to use an example of we've been using lately, which we didn't even know existed, was kayak bass fishing, which is kind of
Okay.
random. Now we don't have to go that deep as far as drilling, but we could. But if we just said, okay, we're going to go after the fishing market, but we don't want to go after the broad fishing market, which we could take a look at that because eventually we could go there. But if we went into the bass fishing market or something that we know that a bass fisherman would use, and
Okay.
again, so maybe we could just start with that one because that's the one I've been kind of playing around with, just with different trainings and stuff that I've been doing, and I think it's kind of fun. And yeah, I mean, we kind of stumbled on that in one of our trainings that were like, wait a minute, kayak bass fishing tournaments like that? That's actually a thing.
The hot thing.
Yeah. So where would you start? Like, I mean, like, what would you do? And I know you're going to bring up Jungle Scout and you're going to start digging in. Where would you start with that? Would you go to the web app? Would you use the extension? What would you do?
Yeah, great question. So I'll probably start with the web app, but I think for everyone watching this, let's just for 30 seconds talk about like a bigger picture real quick. So like, all right, so Scott's starting this bass fishing brand or kayak bass fishing line or brand or whatever else. He wants to know like what products to expand in this brand, right? So it's like, okay, what products in this will do well on Amazon, and then hopefully for in the future he can expand onto his own website or whatever else. So if we just think about like the fundamentals just real quick, like we want products with high demand and low competition, right? We want these products that are like selling well on Amazon, but aren't too competitive. And how do we find those? Well, of course, with Jungle Scout, it shows you how many units are being sold every month. So that's how we can verify demand. As far as competition, the number of reviews is a great gauge. The quality of the listings is a great gauge. And then something else I think is worth talking about throughout this webinar is that also, if you can make improvements on these products, that's like a great long-term strategy. I know you like doing that as well, Scott. So that's what we're thinking about, like big picture here. So now, like, how do we go about actually finding these products that meet this criteria for Scott to add into his kayak bass fishing brand?
It's a huge thing, by the way, and I wasn't aware of this. I was like, "What the heck, kayak bass fishing?" Like they had like these massive Facebook groups and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So let's dig in. I'd love to kind of explore this with you, and we can kind of mine, through this, this new market.
Excellent. So you should be able to see my screen now. And what I have pulled up here is the Jungle Scout product database. So there's always some little bit of confusion around this, but what we're looking at right here, this is the Jungle Scout web app, which is a separate product from the Jungle Scout extension. All right. I'm going to assume that you're going to sell in the US, Scott, although it supports a bunch of marketplaces.
Yep.
I don't know how to say bass fishing in Italian or anything. So English is great.
Let's go.
And for anyone who's not familiar with this, what we're looking at here is we've rebuilt Amazon's catalog in a way that's user-friendly for sellers to search through. So if we look at the results right here, there's about 58 million products in here. There are more than that on Amazon. However, we usually only put products in our catalog in this database that sell one per month or more. So these are like all the products on Amazon that sell one per month or more. Okay. So how do we, there's 58 million in here. We just want to find the bass kayak fishing products or bass fishing products that have high demand with low competition, so are good opportunities for us. So what we could do is we could start with a few category filters. So this is probably going to be in sports and outdoors. However, the categories aren't always perfect. So maybe I'll add tools and home improvement, and maybe I'll add patio, lawn, and garden. Those, there might be a few other ones, but those like bass fishing stuff could potentially end up in those categories, I feel like.
Sure.
So we'll select a few of those. What we'll do here is let's do a minimum price of $15. It's tough to make any money selling like $7 fishing hooks, or yeah, $15 sounds good. We want products that are selling well on Amazon already. So we'll say at least 200 unit sales per month. That's a little less than I normally go for, but since we're really trying to like niche down and Scott's focused on building this brand, 200 per month, still a good volume of sales.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and just put in max reviews here. I'm going to do a little bit higher number than I normally like, but I'm just going to start with 100 just because we are niching down, and then we can always narrow down these filters more later.
Okay.
So I think that's like a good place to start.
Yeah, it looks good.
Let's also include the keyword. Let's just start with just bass, and let's just see what this ends up with. I haven't done the search yet, so I don't know. But you know, it's always good to just kind of start with something and then you refine your search. If you still have too many results, you can niche down. If you don't have enough, then you can get larger. So there are 61 results in here, which is decent. And what we could do is we could look through these real quick and see if there's any products that stick out for us that would be good products that we could potentially manufacture. So even actually the top product right here, this is a bass fishing accessory kit. I imagine that a kayak bass fisherman would, you know, use an accessory kit like this.
Oh yeah.
So if we just look at this real quick, it's selling for $17.88. There's only 8 reviews, which is pretty low competition, yet it's still selling 350 units a month. So this could potentially be like a good product. So if we'll just open this up and look at it real quick. The other thing I'm thinking about is, hey, like, is this type of product something that I feel like could be easily manufactured, you know, like in China or off like, you know, a factory in Alibaba? My answer to that is yes. You know, I doubt any of these items are patented just because you see these like in every store you go to. And I think there's tons of brands that are selling these things. So, I mean, all it is, right, is just some like little pieces of different metal hooks and clips and whatever else, a few lead weights and this plastic case. So I think there's definitely like someone on Alibaba that manufactures something like this. So, you know, this could be a potential good opportunity for Scott when he's building out this kayak bass fishing line to sell a little accessory kit that is good for bass fishermen. The one thing that's good to check from, so we know this one product's doing well,
right?
But it's like, is this a good opportunity as a whole, or is this one outlier that, you know, just happens to be selling right now for whatever particular reason,
right?
So, you know, a good way that I like to gauge this next is just by copying what I think the main keyword is. We'll just use this fishing accessory kit. We can search all of Amazon for this. And this is when I really like to use the extension, because what this shows me is what this market looks like as a whole. Let's see. The one that we found in the web app, I think, was this one, which, let's see. One of these guys. This guy.
Right there. Yep. That's ranking what, number 5?
Yes.
Ranking number 5. Only that one now says 44 sales.
Yeah. So this one, so this is actually like a great example of why you'd want to check on Amazon at the current time, because what happens is the data in the product database is cached. So it might be like up to 48 hours old. And so the truth is with this one is this was an outlier. What probably happened is they probably just launched it because they only have a few reviews. They probably did a bunch of giveaways. So it was artificially inflated a few days ago, and now it's kind of like gone back to normal. So this is like a great example of why you want to not just go off like what's shown in the web app, but look at like the niche as a whole.
Now, Greg, do this for me real quick. And this is what I generally do too. Click on the 44 sales so we can see the history and see what was happening and how long, and that'll give us a little bit better. Yeah. So since May of 2017, so they do have some history. They didn't just launch.
You're right. And it's surprising how few reviews they have. Actually, this is actually a different product. Sorry. This top one is the one.
There it is. So they just use the same image.
Yeah. So it is close.
Okay. So it was the same image they must have used, right? Oh no, it's the same brand. Is it 2 different ones? What the heck did they do there? It almost looks like they duplicated the listing.
That one's strange.
Well,
but anyway,
this is live. But anyway, so okay, let's look at that top one though, of 415 sales, because now I'm back into this thing. I'm like, okay, well maybe.
Yeah. So actually, a Or you know what? This could be like what they're using as like a variation on
Oh,
inside
okay.
the same listing to get it ranked twice.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, if we look at this opportunity as a whole, especially considering this was the first kind of like one we did, this is actually a pretty good opportunity.
Mm,
These, you know, there is a little bit of like variation of like different types of stuff here. So you probably have to like dig in to see, hey, why are
mm,
some of these selling better than others?
right.
But in general, like the fishing accessory kit, it has pretty good sales. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of these are selling a few hundred per month.
and
There's
low
not
review.
many reviews.
Yeah.
So like pretty yeah, low number of reviews. So let's see. Yeah, because that one it was ranked this one the number one, and
Yeah,
then
and then that one, the top one
this
was there.
one.
Yeah.
So this was the one we looked at in the web app with 8
Mhm.
reviews and about 400 sales.
Mm, that's not bad. Do me
No,
another favor. This is something else that I generally do, and I know you do as
sure.
well. Go click into that listing and then click on the seller, and let's see what else they're selling. If they're a private label or exclusively with just random products, or if they are selling different things. I'm just curious. Generally, what I do, just so I can see. Yeah. Okay. So they're selling more than just that. And then what
So
I
like, look at
generally,
your competing brands, Scott. These guys are kayak, bass
I
fisherman
know.
brand as well.
I know. And you're doing exactly what I was going to say that I do. Then I run the extension on their page to see some of their top selling products.
Yeah, what we could do, you know, we can sort this by the
Yep.
top selling.
Yep. So that
So the
one
top
there,
one,
yeah, that's selling, but it's only $12.86, but it could be a good lead in, but 1,400 sales with 133 reviews.
right?
Crazy. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but they do have quite a few products, you know, that are selling a few hundred per month with a very low number of reviews, like pretty young listing. Like let's
Mm,
look at like this one.
yeah.
This
October of
was really last
2017.
October, and it's been getting a little bit better each month, which I guess makes sense. Prime time is probably like spring, summer, and fall, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
probably the very end of the season.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. So okay, so they do have a brand that they've built for outdoor stuff, and they've got a lot of miscellaneous. Now, Greg, let's talk about that real quick because I get a lot of people that ask me like those fishing bobbers, right? $3.99. Are they FBA? It doesn't say. How would someone sell them and expect to make money?
Don't expect to make money is the answer.
But I'm always curious. I mean, I get it. Like you could use that listing to maybe get additional traffic to your promotions and stuff internally, but you're risking that. I don't think that's a wise decision, but that's just me. Um,
Yeah, let's look at this real quick.
that fulfilled by Amazon or merchant? Oh no, it says in
So,
stock. Yeah.
so it's fulfilled by the merchant
Oh,
now,
okay. Okay, it
but
is.
and they might even be trying to ship from China,
That's
which
what it's looking like.
yeah,
Because look at it says it's I mean right now we're recording this at the end of March and it's saying won't get it till April 13th or 30th. That's pretty much a good sign to me that it's coming from China.
oh yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
But you have to think. I mean, they're still just making pennies on this thing,
Oh yeah.
right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
this is like for anyone watching this, this is not worth your time trying to
No,
sell these things,
no
especially if
way.
you're filling them yourself. And yeah,
Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. So I think, yes, we could get into this as we could expand out. And again, I just wanted to kind of show people the process. We're digging into, a separate, market or a separate niche inside of that market. Let's go with one more in this space and then we'll move on to a different market.
okay.
Let's look at a few of the other things just to see if there's something else in the price range and in stuff that we would be interested in and for reviews and all that stuff.
Yeah, so let's just sort by actually let's try sorting by LQS. This is a listing quality score.
Okay.
And this is essentially like how good of a listing they have or
Right.
like how likely it is for this listing to convert. So a high number means it's a high quality listing. A low number means it's a low quality listing. All right. So like this one right here, it's selling for $17. Again, this is another like bass fishing bait. It looks like of some type. But this is a relatively low quality listing.
One, what is it? Oh, there's a few images. Okay.
Yes, this one's a few images and actually could have crawled some of these other ones. Let me find you like one more example of. All right, so I guess they added some new images to this one too. But anyway, so we can look at this and we can think about like how can we be improving upon this particular listing.
Right.
So they actually must have just updated this because now they even have enhanced brand content and stuff.
Okay. Let's
That one's probably the best example. What were you gonna say, Scott?
no, I was gonna say if we even looked at the history and seen how long they've been selling, that might give us an idea if when they launched it got crawled, and then when they updated,
Yeah, we could.
you know what I mean?
Let's just try one other thing to look
Sure.
at potential good opportunities. This time I'm just sorting by reviews.
By reviews,
It's the
okay.
lowest number of reviews, yet its products are still selling over 200 a month. Some fishing rods. Let's maybe look at this thing.
Oh, there you go.
A net.
Yep. Every fisherman needs a net.
Yeah.
17 reviews. It's pretty nice.
Gosh, this looks like this type of net looks for like a fly fisherman or like a cool hip kayak fisherman, right? Like this is like a cool net.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not just like an aluminum handle with rubber on the end of it. It's kind of like that. If you had a boat like that, or even something that was more of that natural look, that might be of something. And it's selling for $25. Let's dig into that one real quick. I'm curious.
Yeah, so let's just search for looks like this would either be maybe fly fishing net or like let's just see fly fishing.
Yeah, it looks like they got some other variations too. So I'm having an idea here that they're probably selling other fishing stuff as well.
You're catching those bass on a fly rod, right, Scott?
Hey, I didn't say I knew everything about it.
Okay.
Fly fishing, I think, is in the stream, in the river, maybe going after trout or something. Okay. We're going to get ourselves in trouble. You know that. I'm going to get all kinds of emails
right now. Like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah. Scott, you shouldn't even be talking about this stuff. If you guys are watching this live, definitely drop something in the comments if you guys know a little bit more about fishing than we do. I should probably go over and check out the chat while you're doing that. But yeah, so, okay. I mean, it looks like these are selling okay for demand just for this. Let's look at this. Cause I mean, some of those got some pretty good numbers. I mean, some are selling for 30, 40 bucks. That one there's got 238 reviews. The top one, 666 sales at 29 bucks. Let's see. So, okay.
The sales histories were here. So this one's brand new.
That one's new.
It's like it wants some more reviews. No sales history on that.
Now, when that comes up, I know people have asked that. So does that basically just mean it doesn't have enough data?
That's correct.
Okay.
So, and it's typically because it's a pretty new product. Of course, there are like rare exceptions of just kind of like weird products, but typically it's because it's pretty new.
Okay.
So if there's only like 1 month's worth of data, it doesn't show it to you in the sales history because it's essentially the same number as like this one right here.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I like that. What's the magnetic net release for fly fishing? Oh, it's only 1132, but the 489 on the sales look good. Okay. So that's just a little contraption there.
Right.
And then the other one, there's one. Okay. So that was the one we were looking at, right?
This one looks a little bit different,
but it's the same brand. $26.99. The other one was $24. Okay, it might be a variation. They've got variations on that listing.
Oh yeah, and that's where the magnetic thing comes from too.
Which is kind of weird. I'm not sure they're supposed to be doing that, but
that's a
that's a terms of service violation, I believe.
Contested topic right now.
Yeah. We won't get into that. Okay, so that's showing us all the variations. Yeah, so it's breaking them down throughout all of them, it looks like, huh?
Yeah, so this is another like kind of fine detail. It'd probably be good. I don't know if you know this or not, Scott, but in there's a few weird categories. Sports and outdoors is one of them.
Yes.
Where all the variations share the same rank.
Yep.
So when that happens, there's no way to know like what the most popular variation is.
Right.
So what Jungle Scout does is it just assumes they all sell about the same because like this one sales rank is contributed to from all of the same items. Now, in real life, that's not true. Like some of these are really, I'm sure, sell a little bit better than others, but Amazon doesn't give us any kind of information for us to know what the best selling would be in this particular scenario.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's only like 3 categories that this is the case, but this is one of them, sports and outdoors.
What I've generally done on this, Greg, is I've actually just searched my keyword and see which image comes up. And that's the one I kind of lean on because it looks like that's the one that's being more indexed.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah. Especially if they all have the same title. That's actually a great little hack, Scott. Sometimes they have different titles and that that will change kind of like how they rank, but these all have the same title.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you just search for this, like landing net for fly fishing.
Yeah. I think you did that. And I think the one we were looking at initially was $24.99. I think it was that one. I think that's going to probably be our top one, but let's look. Let's do this and see what we've got here. There it is right there. So see $8.99 to $26.99, and that's all those products. That is totally like, that's misleading, right? That $8.99 thing is not a net. It's actually that little device there. Sneaky.
Right, but it looks like this is the The
Okay.
top selling.
Yeah, it
Looks
looks
like
like
it
that
has
is.
a
Okay.
plastic net.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right. So, and again, so I mean, just for people to see kind of how we're going through this and kind of weighing things out, that's what I would be saying. I'd be saying which one's the top selling out of those.
totally.
Now with that being said, that one that's $8.99 because they're probably getting some sales through that and it's helping it. That will also probably help that listing overall because it is sharing the BSR. Or am I not following that correctly?
No, you are. So this is like a
Yeah.
little like hack that some people try to do. However, Amazon recently has been cracking down on this more and more
Yeah.
because really the reviews for this count towards this 17.
Exactly.
And also the sales from this now boost their overall listing BSR because this category, remember, all the variations share a BSR.
Exactly.
So that will help their keyword ranking as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And said they had 7 left on that. So it looks like they're going to run out of stock on that. Okay. Cool. So I think we've done a good job here in this market. I've got 2 products that I could probably feel comfortable that there's a good chance that I could land them and probably do okay, especially if I have a brand. Because the way I'm looking at it is if I have a brand and I already have traffic, I can start to cross promote inside of my other listings. And that's why I kind of wanted to do this. One other thing though, in the extension, can you turn on the paid ads one so we can see actually who's running ads and see if that's really contributing to their overall sales? That's another
Sure.
thing that I do too to see how competitive I'm going to have to be with the sponsored ads. I love that feature that you guys built in. That's really cool.
Yeah, so the ones that are paid placements, they
Okay.
have this
So,
little SP next to them for
yep.
sponsored products. So we could see those at the top and the bottom. And actually, just recently on Amazon, now there's some in the middle too, depending
Yes.
on the
Yep.
layout of the search
Seen those.
pages.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
this is like Scott said, this gives you a little bit of an indicator of probably like how much the sponsored products are helping out these particular listings, or like it might at least be a helpful gauge.
Yeah. And it looks like the 2 of the top sellers are, it looks like the one that we were looking at, and then also that other one that was $29 for, and they're selling 666. Can you click on the 666 so we can just see? It's a terrible number. Can we just look at that? Okay, so we don't have data on that one either yet.
No.
Okay. So that one, the other thing that you can do here too, and I think we should bring to people's attention, if you go down in that little cloud down in your bottom there where you can see like the keyword cloud, I kind of like that. And
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit of what's happening there?
Sure. So this takes all of the keywords in all of the titles for all these products. And this is a keyword cloud to tell you like what the most popular words are in this particular for these particular titles. So it's usually going to include at least the words that you're searching for, right? Like fly fishing net. I see fly, fishing, and net are all popular ones, but there's other popular words in here as well, like landing, mesh, rubber, release, soft, trout. So these would all be words that you should probably think about targeting, possibly including in your listing, or just gives you other good ideas like, okay, magnetic's pretty popular. Maybe we should dig into that a little bit more. It sounds like those are probably like those magnetic clips like for it.
Right.
But maybe we should also research more about if there's nets specifically for trout. It's like trout fishing net. Right. So this gives us a good idea of that. And of course you can download it in a CSV file and it gives you some more information there.
Cool. And then down below there too, you also, isn't that your, where you can check the trend down below?
It is.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that quick too, just to kind of explore that. I like that. So this kind of tells us the market in a whole or over, as for this, for the net, but if even fly fishing, even if we adjusted that, but if we went 5 years, you can kind of see that it's pretty much the same, right? I mean, you have your lows, you have your highs, and you have your middle, and looks like there's really, what's the low month? Does it say one of the lower months?
It's like that's probably around November, December.
Yep. And then it starts to pick up.
Yeah. But you're right. It's a little surprising to me that that one, it hasn't really trended kind of like over the year. It's been like pretty consistent for the past 5 years. I guess that's not that shocking to me.
Yeah.
But there's quite a bit of movement, kind of like even, this one looks a little strange to me how much it's kind of like from month to month.
Yeah.
It's not like, summers are definitely a little bit more popular, but it still kind of jumps around a fair bit.
Now that you're in Google Trends, can you go up there and take out net? Let's just see if that does anything. I think you can adjust that term, right? Yeah. Let's just see what that does. I'm just curious what that does.
This one's a little bit easier to look at, right?
Exactly.
So this is what I expect more out of Google Trends. It's pretty clear. Okay, the most popular times in the middle of summer and it looks like
November,
yeah,
so, yeah.
October, November, December is the slowest month.
Yep.
So
Cool.
don't expect this to sell like crazy over Christmas.
Right. Right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's dig into another one. I think we got time for at least one more.
Sure.
The other one that I had was, and this was one that I discovered and I shared this on my, on one of my trainings, is the Jeep market, like the, not just your Jeep Cherokee, but like a Jeep Wrangler and all the, all the
accessories
different,
that go with
yeah,
it,
accessories and stuff. And I mean, it blew me on my mind. I was out looking for a Jeep, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Holy crap!" There's like this huge market. And my salesperson was telling me all about it. They're like, "You're going to be part of the tribe, And I'm like, "I am."
It was like the Jeep wave, right? Like if you have a Jeep, you always wait till other Jeep.
Exactly. It was crazy, right? If you don't, you're like, you're disrespecting the community. You don't want
so
to do
did you
that.
get a Jeep or what? Give us a little insight.
Yeah, I did. I did actually get a
nice.
Jeep Wrangler, got the lift on it. Yeah, it's
all right.
Sweet. Yeah.
So you're in this market now.
I am in the Wave Club now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, cool. I am. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to kind of explore this. I seen a great example. Someone sells shades and stuff, removable sunshades and stuff. So there's a lot of cool things. And there's a lot of stuff that's not like huge, right? That you wouldn't have to oversize. Now, if you wanted to oversize things, you could do things like covers and stuff like that too. Which, once you start building it, why not? But yeah, let's just dig in. I'm just kind of curious to see what we'll discover here on the fly.
Yeah, so I selected a few categories I would think Jeep parts would end up in. Of course, automotive, but I went ahead and selected a few others too. Home improvement, industrial scientific, sports and outdoors, tools and home improvement.
Okay.
There's Jeep stuff that would probably end up in some of those. Maybe I'll throw in health and household.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with just the keyword Jeep. Minimum $15, maximum number of views 100, a minimum of 200 sales per month. Click the search button and see what we come up with here. All right, so looks like some driving lamps.
Yep.
Let's see, some different struts, some more lights, things like cargo mats. So these are definitely all, I think, like good Jeep parts.
Right.
Let's try sorting by the minimum number of reviews. Let's see what we have.
Yeah, see those red things right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, those you put on the front, and a lot of times they're colored and stuff. And that's getting 300 sales on those. Crazy.
Let's see what we have here.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing that would worry me about this one, it's like if people use these to tow stuff or hang stuff or whatever else, it might worry me a little bit about them.
Yeah, you're right.
Breaking, but let's just look at them anyway, just for fun.
Yeah.
So we'll do D-ring shackle.
Yeah, there you go.
Looks great. A whole bunch of D-ring shackles, and it looks like a lot of these people are using for cars too. I see a lot of towing keywords and things like that.
Yep.
Wow, a lot of sales too.
Yeah, crazy.
So a lot of sales in this top guy, over 2,000 a month, which is a ton. A lot of sales throughout. However, this one to me looks fairly competitive. Quite a few number of reviews. Yeah, but I guess this guy, he only has 6 reviews, probably pretty young.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Oh, so actually he has been selling for a few months.
Wow. Okay.
It's last July.
Trending up too right now.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
This is definitely his best month. Previously, only 100, 150, whatever. But so yeah, this could be a potential product. I think we could find something less competitive for you though, Scott.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's try to
go back up for a second, Greg.
Okay.
Or down or wherever it was. There's those little right there. The door hangers. Okay, now they're a little heavy, but those things would come in really handy.
So you put these things in your garage, you hang your doors from them?
Yeah, because you pop your doors off, what are you gonna do with them? Lean them up, got to put, so yeah, these I can see as a huge thing that a Jeep owner. Now, are these fulfilled by Amazon or merchant?
By merchant.
By merchant, yeah, because they're heavy. See, but how many are they selling of those? I'm just curious. What an easy product too.
About 300 a month.
Jeez.
It's like this would be very easy to get all this is a piece of metal bent, right?
That's it.
Like
it's a piece of
tons
steel.
of factories can make this. This is essentially just how you market it, or it's meant for a particular purpose.
Yeah, that's a great example right there. I mean, you're talking, how many do you get in a pack? Does it get 2? Oh, so it's only 2 hangers. You need more than 2 though. You need 4, unless you only got a 2-door.
Yeah, I guess you could probably sell both 2-door and 4-door.
Sure, you could. Be a great variation. Wow. Okay.
So really, this one guy, he's kind of he's so this is a good example, I think, of a market that doesn't have a lot of depth.
Mhm.
However, this one person essentially has shown that there is demand for this. People do want to, purchase these.
Sure.
They're purchasing 300 a month from him, and the listing's probably pretty young, only 4 reviews.
4 reviews.
Um,
Crazy.
all right, so I guess it's been around since October last year. This is his best month,
Yep.
but this actually, to me, like a lot of beginners say, like, what should I kind of start with, whatever
Yep.
else. I actually think like a product like this is a great example of a product for a beginner to start
Mhm.
with,
Mhm.
and just only, with the expectations that this is only going to sell like 100 a month.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But like, this $25 net here, 24,
know.
right?
I
If
know.
these cost, I don't know, let's just say like $12 to land, you're
Yeah.
making $12 profit each. If you
Beautiful.
sell 100 a month,
Yeah.
that's $1,200 a month, which is
Yeah.
that's
That's
good
a
money, right?
mortgage for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
mean, and like it's very low competitive to get into. Not many,
Mhm.
like competitors. You could probably do just as good or a better job. This listing's pretty good. I think this definitely tells the
Decent.
story,
Yep.
but there are definitely rooms you can improve. This particular person, they probably don't know a ton about. I'm just guessing this is probably, this is like the manufacturer of this product. They probably don't know a ton about like ranking on Amazon and stuff. So
Mhm.
you could probably do a better job than they do.
Now,
Um,
just click on ships from and sold by. Let's see if they do sell anything else. Just curious on that. And they only got 9 ratings.
this is an online product.
Holy crap. And they only got 9 ratings, Greg.
Yeah.
And so they're still ranking and they're still selling. So
Right.
that's a good sign right there.
Right.
Yeah, so
Totally.
I would be adding this to that brand for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
there's no
so.
reason not to. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and I would do a test order. I'd do like 300, and I would just order 300 and
Yeah.
see what happens, and they're fulfilling them by merchant. Now, were you giving the numbers fulfilling by Amazon?
This right here.
Mm.
Yes. So this is always going to be, if it's fulfilled by Amazon.
So, right. So if you're fulfilling it yourself, well, you're going to do even better than that, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if we wanted to ship them in, which
Fulfilling yourself.
I would want to do, but they're fulfilling them by merchant, I believe, right? Yeah, FBM.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you have to, if this is just kind of a guy fulfilling out of his garage, of
Right.
course, he doesn't exactly like realize that cost. I guess if you had more of like a legit warehouse, of course there are some fees associated with fulfilling this. But yeah, I mean, if I was anyone watching this or me, I would just use FBA. You can actually probably do a lot better than this guy because then
That's
it'd
what I
be
was
Prime
saying.
eligible,
Yep.
Like right now, this isn't Prime eligible. And everyone loves Prime.
Now that guy right there below with the green door, how come he's not doing good? Let's see
Let's see.
what he's up to. Got some reviews.
A ladder hanger.
Oh, not designed for Jeep doors. Haha.
Eighth pre-drilled
Okay.
holes.
$6 at Home Depot.
It's a ladder wheel barrel hook.
So
it
it's
looks like this
probably
guy's
he just taking something and throwing it up there for use with that.
right. So this guy's
I
just
see.
you can easily see that.
Yeah.
That thing is meant for like a round.
It is. Oh, this is
ladder
good.
or whatever
This is
else.
good. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he just tried to take something like they said, basically called them out on it. You bought something for one thing. Hey, I don't.
You got to give the guy credit for that. Like he probably does buy these at just Home Depot and is marketing them toward Jeep owners, which give him credit for that. But you can do better.
You could totally do better. And really, and so now what are they're going after removable door wall mounted storage hanger. So what's the other guy doing? Let's see what the other guy's keywords are in there, just so we can kind of get an idea if people are actually searching or if they're just stumbling. So door hanger storage rack, Jeep Wrangler door hanger. Maybe try that. Jeep Wrangler door hanger. Okay. Sponsored there. Okay. And then they just got the grab bar. So there's no competition. Really? Yeah. Not for that search. What's that one there? Yeah, on the left hand. Yeah, right down the other one there. EAG. What's that one? That looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Number one new release.
So this one just came out to compete with this guy.
Wow.
Let's see. No real sales yet, though.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Decent pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right.
So yeah, this
Not
is
bad.
definitely I think something you could add to the lineup, Scott. And like I said, like if I was, people ask me if I was like brand new starting out today, I'd probably think about going after a product like this. It's like a
Mm,
great one to learn on, very like low competition. Expectation would only be like selling 100 a month or something.
yep.
And but yeah, I mean, even 100 a month, like we said, $12 a pop, that's $1,000 a month. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty darn good. And I think the other thing is people need to realize is like those first few products are, to me, they're learning. You're learning the
Totally.
process, you're learning the whole sourcing, you're learning how to pick a product, you're learning the numbers, what works, what doesn't work, and you learn from it. So I think people just need to realize that it's part of the education. You're just getting, in this case, you'd be getting paid for it because you'd be making $1,000 a month,
Right.
which would be pretty awesome. And I mean, look at the simplicity of that product. I
This is
mean,
this is like a great example of a very simple product. Like it's very hard for this thing to go wrong, right?
yeah,
I mean, as long as they
mount it right,
have the
right,
mold set up to bend this correctly,
right.
it's pretty hard to screw this up. And yeah, like
Yeah.
your return rate would be pretty low unless it didn't fit a certain type of Jeep door or something else.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's cool. Cool. I'm glad we stumbled on that. All right, let's do one more real quick. Do you want to stay in this market? You want me to give you one more?
It doesn't matter to me. You choose.
Let's go ahead and let's stay here.
Okay.
Let's stay here. Let's do another one for the Jeep market.
All
While
right.
so let's just while we're in here.
We could do some mirrors.
Yeah,
We could
that was the other
do-
thing I was learning too. There's like these mirror extenders that they're buying to get it if you're off-roading, you need them wider.
Here's something like this. I guess this picks up your hard top. So I mean, I guess you could kind of start a line of
yeah, that's a huge thing. Me and my son took ours off. It's a hard top, and man, oh man, I'll tell you what,
it's heavy.
it's heavy, but it's awkward.
Yeah, I bet.
It's just awkward, but that's a great idea. Might even buy one of them.
You kind of turn this into a
little pulley.
a garage like accessory line,
and you can
Jeeps,
store
right?
it.
Yeah,
I love that.
look.
What kind of sales are we looking at there? All that is like a pulley system.
350. Yeah.
Holy crap. 11 reviews.
Oh wow, it's expensive. 345 or $145. So let's see.
know.
What would be our main keyword? I think Jeep.
It looks like who would be typing
Hard top.
hoist though? You know what I mean? Like storage, maybe. Hard top Jeep
Maybe
hard top storage, I think would be the main one. Yeah. Because that is the problem. That's a problem with me in my garage.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that one's cool too. You got wheels on it. You can wheel it out of the way.
That's kind of cool. Kind of like this one though, because then it just hangs on your.
I know. I like it too. It's out of the way. You just drive away. Yeah, that's cool.
So pretty much the only one selling that one. Maybe we could try a different keyword. Should we try hoist? Let's see what
Try
hoist.
it.
I don't know if anyone searches for this, but
yeah, there's something there for something else. It looks like lift storage rack.
Different.
Yeah, it is.
So it's actually now like after looking at this, it seems like kind of like this Jeep accessory market seems like fairly untapped. I mean, just from 5 or 10 minutes of research here or whatever, right? But there's only one guy selling this one. He's doing over 300 a month. I'd bet you this thing's pretty dang profitable. 122 net.
Yeah, what comes included in it? Just the strap.
I was about to say, if this is just like some hooks and some straps and a couple pulleys.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's all it is. Huh.
This might just be killing it.
I mean, even if it was $25 to manufacture, that's really.
I know, selling it for.
Cool. So we just got two products. This hoist, which is really expensive, and then we got the hangers, and those are basically doing the same thing. When you're getting ready to take off the stuff, you need places to put it, and you need an easy way to get it off. And it's the same thing with the doors. You don't know where to put them. You got to hang them. So these products would actually go really well together.
It would go really well together. Here's some other ones, but they look more complicated and very expensive. This is just a kind of a garbage listing that probably no one knows about or cares about. But this is more of like there's this big bar on here. This one seems way simpler. All this is just some straps,
I know.
like some rope for the pulleys.
How long's that been selling? Let's get an
Let's
idea
see.
just for kicks. Oh,
Okay.
August of last year.
Yeah. So I guess historically this hasn't done as well as it is right now. I guess that if we were looking at seasonality, that would probably make sense to me. We're entering springtime right now, or it's starting to get
Mhm.
warm. So all of a sudden people are trying to take the tops off their Jeeps. So
Yeah.
probably spring and beginning of summer is when this does the best. But I imagine people will still put them on and off kind of throughout the rest of the year too,
Even if
right?
you own of this one here, even if you sold 100 a month, I mean,
Dude,
at
I
that.
bet you this guy's making like $50 or more per sale.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
uh, he jacked up the price. Oh no, not really.
That was 146.
Yeah.
He's played around with it a little bit. Yeah. Damn, that's a pretty nice little product. Can you look at the trend too one more time before we get out of here? Just to
Like,
kind of see what we're looking at, and maybe we'll adjust it to just Jeep Wrangler or something because the Wrangler is going to be more of the market.
yeah. Let's look at the trend here.
Yeah.
Do like 5 years.
Let's see. Jeez.
All right. So I guess this is kind of what I suspected. Like spring and early summer is when it does the best. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the colder months, these aren't as popular
Yep.
for
Yep.
people to be ordering, which is fine. All products have a certain amount of seasonality to them, right?
Sure. Sure.
The lower the better, but doesn't mean you have to run away from products with seasonality.
No, I like it though. I like it. And like you said though, but when you do start hitting those warmer months, that's when people are going to be like, I got to take the Jeep off, or I just got a Jeep and I got to know what to do with this stuff. It's awkward, or I got to get my doors hung up because I don't want them leaning.
Right.
That is a thing. So, okay.
Totally.
Yeah, I like it. I like what we found here today.
I did too, Scott.
And it was
I think we
totally
should
random,
start
man.
this line.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
Jeep garage products. You already have a
yeah.
Jeep too, so you can test this stuff
I
yourself,
know. I
man.
can test it on myself, and man, with all that extra time I got now, right? I got no time trying too many things now. But I just wanted to get you on and kind of dig in here. Is there anything else you wanted to address or talk about or mention before we get out of here? I would mention this though, and I'll put a little shameless plug in here for you and me. Is Jungle Scout. Greg is the owner and creator of Jungle Scout. Now he's grown it to just be a very successful product, but also one that does a lot of what we just showed you, and it really does help. So again, right now, I would say definitely check it out. You can go through my affiliate link. I will earn a small commission. Buy me a cup of coffee. But you can go to theamazingseller.com/JS. And what we'll do there is we'll get you a little discount. And then you'll also, I think on the web app, we're still doing it where you get additional products to track. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So just go check it out. We got some resources over at that page for you too, just for TAS listeners. Check that out, theamazingseller.com/JS, and check it out. And Greg, I mean, I know that the product is definitely in my toolbox. I'm using it just about every day. And I use the web app I've used more for what we used it for today. I do track, but I do it more for like, if I'm going to go into more of the market that I'm in, I'm going to start exploring that using those filters, exactly what we did today. And I just love it that we were able to do it today, and you kind of validated everything I'm doing is kind of similar to what you do. So it's just reassuring that, when we're out there, we're talking about this stuff, we're actually doing the simple things. And I think it all comes down to like your reviews is a good gauge as far as the competition goes. And then I think looking at profitability, and then also looking at that depth of demand. And I think don't run away from products that might only be doing 200 or 250 sales, because those could be products that, like you said, Greg, you could get started, or you could just add to your product line without a lot of work, like the products that we found today. So anything else you want to wrap up with, Greg, before we say bye-bye?
Yeah, I'll just add to that real quickly. Because we're doing a relatively short demo here, we only were using the product database inside of the Jungle Scout web app. Like Scott mentioned, if you guys aren't familiar with it, the web app also has a product tracker in it, which is great to track your competitors' products. So, if Scott decided to go into this Jeep accessory market, I would recommend to him to track a bunch of the competitors' products to see how they're selling on a day-to-day basis. Different types of products, making sure that they didn't just do a promo right then and kind of like spike their sales. That's a really way to like kind of gauge over time, like how they're doing. There's also the niche hunter in there, which actually would be another good way to find niches inside of these categories that Scott was talking about. We didn't use it today just because of like the time limitations, but yeah, so there's other stuff in there to check out. But other than that, Scott, it's been fun. I think we found some good products in 45 minutes here, which is a great gauge and great way to show everyone that there's still tons of good opportunities on Amazon. They're not that hard to find. Just, it takes a little bit of work kind of playing around in there, and yeah, you should be able to find something.
Yeah, cool. And again, that's what I would say too. Like, if you're struggling right now to find a product, start with like your own stuff. Like start with that touch list that I talk about. Like me, I wasn't in the Jeep market 7-8 months ago, and now I am, and now I'm exploring these products, which I never would have known about. And that's the way that we're doing it. That's the way that we're teaching people to do it. So definitely start there. And then from there, you can start to kind of build that little, even if it's only a 3 or a 5 product, suite. I believe like that right there, like we showed with those door hangers and then those hoists, those are 2 products that go really well together. And that same customer would probably want to buy both. So why not try to find products that you could sell to a customer like more than once or more than one product? And that's kind of what I like to look at. So anyway, Greg, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. It's always fun chatting. And I know that you and I will be catching up here, I believe in Florida. Are you going to Seller Summit?
Oh yeah. I'll see you there in a few weeks.
All right. Yes, we will be there. Yeah. So we'll definitely do that. So guys, if you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments, whether you're on here live or whether this is, you're watching the recording, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to come back here and answer them for you. And then that way there you get those answered. All right. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Go out there and find some products and check out Jungle Scout at theamazingseller.com/JS. Get that discount, get those additional products you can track, and get those resources. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See ya. Thanks.
Take action.
Take action.